In this video, we're going to be talking about how neoclassical art and graphic design have been paired, and I've been seeing a lot of design like this over the last couple of years. And I'm wondering if neoclassical art, which we'll look at in a second, has anything to do with this popular Severance show and the O&D department having shown a lot of artwork that looks exactly like this, and wondering if that has caused some of the resurgence and hype around this particular art style and then being blended into modern graphic design. So let's take a look at some examples and then we will make some together in Kittl. So I have a project here where I have basically just copied over a couple of pieces from Pinterest and also from Unsplash. Now in Pinterest, you can see by just typing in neoclassical art here up at the top, you're going to get a lot of amazing different pieces from amazing artists. Now over in Kittl, I have grabbed a couple from probably who is the most famous, now that might be debatable, neoclassical artist Jacques Louis David, who was alive in the late 1700s, which is basically around that same time period as neoclassical art, which is drawing on and inspired by ancient Greek sculptures and paintings. So the most famous, I think, of David's paintings here are probably this one of Napoleon crossing, this one here, as well as the death of Socrates. I think this one, I can't remember what this one is called, the Oracle of something, I can't even remember exactly. But this is the death of Socrates, and then this is obviously Napoleon here. And as you can see, they're a bit more vibrant, they're a bit more, I wouldn't say they're more stylistic, but they are definitely just a little bit more vibrant, but they still have that homage to what I believe are Michelangelo's paintings here. As you can see, these are probably some of the most famous ones. The creation of Adam here, which you can see in the Sistine Chapel. If you've ever been there, it's absolutely amazing. I got the opportunity to go one time, and the artwork throughout all of the Basilica and the Sistine Chapel is just absolutely amazing. And yeah, I think that this obviously influenced a lot of the paintings from the time period of about 1760 into the early 1800s, where that neoclassical era is, basically drawing the influence from the ancient Greeks into what was either happening in modern time, or they're paying their own homage back to the sacred texts and then painting depictions of that. And so if we take a look at some inspired for today graphics where they're using some of these same paintings, we see this one right here by Michelangelo right here, and we can see the addition of what looks like a globe in the back, and then we can look at this kind of Y2K utilitarian style that's happening right here. We can also see the addition of overlapping and underlapping typography that's a little bit more elegant in nature, and it kind of matches the style as well. And then we can see some different depictions of bold, kind of like artwork or maybe like album cover art, along with this kind of sacred looking neoclassical artistry here. So I think from looking at the neoclassical art and then now how it's been influenced and integrated into graphic design projects like what we're looking at here, we can draw a few key takeaways to help influence our own pieces. So we have the use of what I'm just going to call elegant typography, and that looks like a mixture of that kind of luxurious serif as well as the script. You can see this beautiful script B right here. You can also see this super elegant, luxurious looking playful serif here. There's more of a basic serif here. We can look at basically the shape of the art being used. It's either going to be in some sort of mask shape like this, or it's going to be the full background. Looking here, I basically see these two things being used. There's two different shapes right here, and then there's a full background right here, and then maybe there's a blend here of the entire images in the back, but it's been overlaid with color blocks, and then a cutout of this angel from the painting right here. And then we can look at the use of filler elements. So we have filler elements in framing, lots of subtext. This is very utilitarian, very Y2K in nature for these designs, and I think it's very fun. Now, you might be thinking, what are the use cases for this? Well, these two things kind of look like what might be album artwork. This was a flyer, a poster for an event. This also looks to be a flyer for some sort of event, usually having to do with the historical nature of that. Maybe it's an art show, maybe it's an event that's catered around this kind of style. I could see a lot of church graphics using this kind of style for their different either sermon series or events or workshops and things like that. But let's see if we can make something together using these principles, right? The elegant typography, the shape and or the usage of the picture, the portrait itself, and then these additional elements to kind of create what is essentially a big box that you are laying out all of this stuff on. Now, you might be having a couple of different questions. One of them might be, well, are we allowed to use this work? Because you didn't paint it, I didn't paint it. You know, what are the laws? What are the stipulations behind using work? Well, it depends a lot on how you're going to use it, so I can't exactly know for your sake how you're going to use it, but generally everything in the public domain is okay, at least for personal use. Now, I can't speak to what you might be selling. If you're trying to sell artwork, I'm not going to be able to speak to that because you're going to have to look into the laws yourself. I do know a lot of Michelangelo's pieces and a lot of Jacques David's pieces are in the public domain, and there's two websites I've left down in the description that I like to use to search for stuff before I go in and I start designing on something. Now, you can also just go to the images here, and if I type in neoclassical painting right here, this is integrated with Unsplash, which is all copyright-free work, so it's not technically copyright-free work. What you're essentially seeing here is someone taking a picture, and then because they own the rights to the picture that they took of the public domain art, you are now then allowed to use it because it is copyright-free. So for example, here's the image I grabbed from the left right here, and then you can see a couple of other ones I believe that you most likely have seen before. Here is one of Michelangelo's paintings which could be used. There's a couple of different ways, but again, I've linked two different websites for you to check. They're basically public domain websites that hold the largest amount of artworks. I won't go into it in detail here, but we're going to go ahead and use them in a couple of designs. Now, another way that you can try to do things is to generate your own. I've been trying to generate a couple of things in a neoclassical oil painting style. I went ahead and also uploaded one as an image style just to see if I could do that and get something accurate. By the way, if you need to know how to do that, you can click on the three options, the three little dots right here, and you can go to save as image style, and then it will upload it as basically a preset, and all it's going to do is try to find keywords and tags that they can tack on to the end of a style here. And so what I have done along with ChatGPT is try to create a detailed prompt that would give me something similar to the neoclassical art, and it kind of did it. It gave me something that's maybe a little bit too digital, a little bit too clean, but with the help of some of our adjustments over here, I was able to desaturate and kind of add some noise to make it look a little bit more like a painting. And we can also add some textures to this later when we're going to design it that will help it look a little bit more like a painting. Now you can see if I were to take these photo filters off, you can see it's way too much like a clean AI digital generated piece, which if that's what you're going for, that's super cool. But if I Command Z that real quick to bring back on the adjustments here, we can see that there are all of these different, saturations turned down, noise is turned up quite a bit, brightness is turned down, and it just gives us a little bit more in line of the art and the light and the shadow of the rest of these things. So with this in mind and the principles that we went ahead and talked about, let's go ahead and try to do something similar from the references that we see on the left. So for this one, I'm thinking that this will be the full background piece. So we're going to do something here and make this one the full background. And so we're going to just make it like this. I don't know the exact size that we want this. Maybe something like an 11 by 17 poster probably is accurate. For this one, let's put this one in another mask similar to what we see either here or here. I'm thinking something more like this. So what we're going to do is open up our elements panel, and then we can open up our mask shapes here. And I'm thinking, let's not copy directly the horizontal or the circle shape. I think maybe a tombstone shape could work. Maybe an oval shape could be cool. There's that one you see right here. Let's see. Another oval shape could be nice. A badge could be cool. Ooh, we could do something in the corner here, but let's go. I'm just really on the tombstone shape lately, and I think it's really, really neat. So what I'm going to do is drag this guy blop into here. And then what's really neat about the masks here is that I can just click in and I can expand this to be in any part that I want. I can also move it around to be further left, further right to get it exactly how I want it. Then I'm going to bring this down. Put this here in the middle, maybe make the artboard just a little bit more of a portrait size. We're gonna make this down. And then another thing I forgot to mention from these is that I'm really only seeing kind of two tones, which is like basically super light or super dark, or the background is the actual painting itself. So here you have black, here you have really dark parts of the image. Here you have like a cream white color, here you have a gray color. And so those are the kind of two things that I'm picking up on. And so we're gonna make this kind of nice off black right here, which is cool. And then for this one, I'm thinking we do another mask shape. And let's see, what can we do with that? Let's do, or no, actually, let's do something like this. So with this one, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate it. And the reason I crop it is just to give it a little bit easier time removing the background. Alright, and so now I have removed the background from this, and so if I line it up over here, since I just want the staff, I can line it up right here, and then I can do some pretty cool things, like adding a shape, which, bear with me here, we're going to make this that same kind of cream color. And then now, if I bring this to the front, you can see it's kind of coming out of the frame right here. That looks pretty cool. Just coming out of the end of that right there, just so it looks like it's coming out of the frame a little bit. Now I could do the same thing with the tree or with the person, but I don't know, it's kind of cool just having the staff come out, maybe like right there. All right, we're gonna work with that, and let's go with this first one. I think the first one will be the easiest to do, and so we are going to add some type here, and we are going to change our color. For now, we're gonna go with white, and this is gonna be pretty easy because all we need to do is find a pretty elegant font. And what we can do is go to script, and we have a lot of those. We have a lot of elegant script fonts that we could choose from. I have a couple that I think are my favorites. I think this one, Ballet, is really great. I also really like Kittl script, so that one could be cool. And we're gonna do, let's see, we're gonna do something like, you can do this, make it big like this, and then yeah. I do like the idea of blending it with other type. So let's go back to Ballet, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do T, and we're gonna do this with a key E, and then we're gonna do instrument serif, caps, make that also white. And it's not quite as elegant as I would like this to be, so let's go back. We'll go to serif, and we're gonna find one that's a little bit more, how we should say, elegant, or meets the time period a little bit more. Let's see what we can find. That's pretty nice. I think that's pretty cool. I didn't have to search for very long. You can also do things like you can type in like elegant, or you can type in vintage, or you can type in luxury, and stuff like that will come up. So you can type in keywords like that over in Kittl, and it'll give you some pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this bad boy so I don't keep touching it. There we go. And we're gonna grab this and this, make this quite a bit bigger. I like the idea of this being in the archway here, and I have a cool idea that we could maybe explore here, which we'll do that in a second. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate all of this. This is actually just gonna be an E, I think. And then I'm gonna change this to C-A-R. It might not be the best. Let's go back and try the same thing just twice. Change this to a C. take cake. That's supposed to say take care. I mean, it already looks pretty dope, right? And the reason it looks cool is really just because of the art here. That's the only reason that it looks cool like this. And so we can grab everything because we locked it in place. So my idea was that like some of this stuff could disappear behind the pillar here, the pillar. So to do that, we can actually just erase this, and you'll need to be careful. This, when I erase this, is going to be rasterized. So what that means is that it's no longer editable, okay? But it allows me to do cool stuff like this, and then it looks like this is disappearing and reappearing out from the side of this panel, right? So it's like coming out, and then it looks like it's behind this panel. I don't know how else to say that, but we can do the same thing with this inner one, again making it look like it's disappearing and then reappearing outside of this pillar. And I honestly think that looks kind of cool. We can also do the same thing with, if we wanted to erase some of the K, we could also do the same thing. Let's go ahead and rasterize this guy. I don't know how this is gonna look, but we can try it. Yeah, I mean, I can still figure out that says care with the A. Now, you'd want to be more pristine with this. I'm just kind of doing it on a whim here. I like that a lot. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now, we maybe could just do a little text down here at the bottom. Like, let's see. The biggest part of this is just really figuring out what you want to say in the design. That's really what it is. What did we use here? Message here at the bottom. Put it in the center there, or we can do a couple of different messages. Yeah, and it's already pretty cool, right? I think that's cool. I think that's another principle, is trying to figure out pieces of your either type or other elements and things like that that you can integrate and overlap and underlap with your design. I could take this guy and make it disappear behind the pillar, but I like that you can see this little piece right here, so I won't do that. But like here, I can make this piece of the E disappear, or I can make this part of the E disappear behind this guy. So I think it's just finding, like, that's what's happening here, right? The hand is coming out of the text, and you can easily do that now with the eraser tool. My advice to you would just be to always duplicate stuff so you have it, so you can edit it again if you need to change it, and then you can rasterize it by hitting the eraser tool and then rasterize it. And then, yeah, you could do a little message here at the bottom, maybe even a little bit. Ooh, definitely not that much, maybe smaller. Yeah, and then you could just do, I don't know, you could do little messages all the way around this. And then the last piece of this is just finding some texture, I think, to make it even more intense. That's not gonna work. Okay, maybe let's try soft light at 50. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, you just have to experiment. I'm not gonna say that that's like amazing and it's the only time I would take for it. I don't know. You got to decide for yourself what you want the text to say. I have no clue. But I might do something like that, you know, and that already gives me the vibe of all of this kind of utilitarian mixed with the neoclassical art design. So that's pretty cool. I would call that one good to go. Let's label it, boom, and we're going to move on to the next one. Now, I say we continue on with some elements that we see over here along with this one. So all I'd have to do is pretty much just grab, like if I like this layout, I can just grab this and come over here, and we already have something going here. Like, we already have something pretty cool right here, because the type, again, just feels like it fits that time period. I don't know why, but it kind of does. And that's something that we can play with. Let's go back to our reference here. Ooh, okay. So this looks like we have a little bit of like old kind of monotype display, like some typewriter style font. So that's a cool idea. Yeah, let's play with a little bit of that. All right, I really love Courier New. That's a little bit too much. Let's do this, and then it looks like we have it framed in some sort of box. So we're gonna draw us a nice little box here. Add a border, take off the color, turn the border to white. That's way too much. Let's go 2. It already kind of looks like a, what would you say, album art maybe? Let's grab this. Let's go to 40. This will kind of be our theme, I guess. Could turn on our guides for a second just to see. Maybe be kind. I mean, kind and nice are the same. I'm just looking for another 4-letter word. Let's see. Yeah. We'll mess with that. We can tidy that up, but for the most part, I think that's pretty cool. Now, I liked in this one that there's a couple of different elements. So if we go to elements and we type in Y2K, because that's another kind of style that we're mixing here, we have a lot of elements here. And let's see if we find one that we... I'm going to add this one right here as an example. But let's keep going. And let's go to... These are cool. Those are cool. These are cool. These definitely fit the vibe, sorta. That's cool. But it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So let's go to abstract and we'll go to the Y2K setting because this is more of what I'm looking for here. So we're gonna add, I'm just gonna add these as I see them real quick. Let's go with, that's pretty cool, that's pretty cool, that's pretty cool. Ooh, that's cool. Let's add this guy. Yeah, I think this is the kind of the vibe, and we'll add him over here on this side. Kind of offset our text up on the right. Why? I don't know, but that's what we're doing. And then we have some different, ooh, let's add a line, because why not? We gotta add a line, because there's a line there. Make that white, boom. That's too much. Oops, there we go. And we'll center that. All right, that is cool. And we already have something coming along. Maybe this needs to be slightly darker. Yes, yes. I'm not vibing with like the way that this is exactly. I'm okay with pulling this down and then bringing this guy duplicated down. And then I might like expand this to the end and then look at that. That's so funny. That's pretty nice. And then I'm gonna do the same kind of idea here, I think, and add some more type. Change it to white, and we need kind of a cool phrase. I think this is the hardest part. I'm not really working from a brief here. It's a difficult task. I should have thought of what I was gonna say here beforehand. I'm gonna use the same. Yeah, let's use Belfair. All caps, blau. And what we're gonna do with this is send it to the back, which looks a little bit stupid, but that's okay. Let's do, yes, okay. So now we have this, all right, check this out. We're gonna duplicate it. We're gonna bring it to the front, okay, stay with me. And we're gonna add a border. It's gonna be white, and then we are going to turn the color down, so that all you see is this like outline. That's what we want. And maybe it's too much. Let's go 3. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just saying. By the way, I don't know if I said this. I did say this in a previous video. You can create guides by clicking on the ruler side on the left or the right and create guides for yourself, which looks like I had. And boom, now we can make sure everything is in line together. I don't like how this is. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Shift R to turn on or turn off the guides and the rulers. So I just don't know if I like that line there. We're going to take this away and we're going to break this here. And we're going to grab these two guys, not this. Bring them up just a tad. And now what's really cool is because I made the stroke of this type here, no matter where I bring it, you can see it come through the portrait there, which is kind of cool. But we need it to stay above. And then what we can do, add more type. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just making stuff up. Turn this to white. We're going to go back to maybe this script. And we'll go here. And maybe we'll put it on a transformation angle, maybe. It's kind of cool, kind of not. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. The idea is just that it's kind of in the middle. That's not really nice to the eye, though. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I want to like put stuff all over the design or not. Maybe I can bring this over and just do a little doodad right here. don't know. I can't think anymore. More subtext about this, and maybe we do a little bit of right justified text that you would have to look at subtly. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's cool. I don't know if it's the best, but it's getting there. This does need to come off a little bit just to break it. I mean, I like it better than this, I think. I'm not sure if I'm vibing with like having text be like on the side, you know? I don't think we need it. That's my idea, is I don't think we need it. So I'm gonna grab this and this, bring it down. Yeah, maybe that's cool. Yeah, all right, let's just roll with that the way that it is. All of the text doesn't really mean anything, so you'd kind of have to decide on your own whether or not that's how you want it to be or not. But we'll also add some texture to this. Maybe we do, since it's a dark design, maybe we will do some plastic, and maybe like this one. And then we need to go to screen because that's how this one works. That does look pretty dope. We need to go down to about 90. No, we need to go about 85. That does look pretty cool. Let's try a different one. No, that's too much. This one is much more subtle. Now, if you don't like where that is, you can release it, okay? And then like I can stretch this by holding the shift key so that we only have some of the glare on a few parts. And then I can just go back, set it to screen, and we're good to go. I think that looks a lot better. I think that's cool. So we're gonna call that one done. Humility spreads. All right, time for the last one. We're gonna continue our theme. Lock this texture so it doesn't move with us. Go over here, blow, and we're gonna turn this to nice dark gray. And we're going to make sure this is all aligned here to make, oops, and bloom, bloom, bloom. And we're gonna go bloop in the middle, and let's make these all smaller. All right, so already we have some pretty cool stuff. Another thing you can do, instead of doing a straight full line, you could do a dashed line, which I think could be nice. Maybe no, not that one. Let's go with maybe this one. Yeah, boom, that's pretty cool. So here we go here, and we make this guy quite a bit smaller. And you can also easily adjust these over here. So let's go with 300. I don't know how I knew that that might be the exact distance that I need, but it was just a guess. And if you ever need it to be longer, I've found that instead of consistently like trying to upscale lines, I just duplicate them and then move them over like so. And I think that's better. So yeah, I think the dash line there is pretty awesome. And what I'm gonna do is grab one of these and one of these, duplicate it, which I apologize I haven't said so far. Duplicating, I use the Alt or the Option key, click and drag, but you can of course just duplicate, or you can right click, copy and paste to duplicate any of that. You may do that. It's super, super easy to do. And let's go here, make these all the same thing. I mean, this already looks pretty awesome. And then like, for example, we can bring this guy to the front. Remember, because we removed the background from just this part of the image, and it already looks pretty nice. Now, another thing we could do is add some shading, and we want to go to outline width, and we can't do that with just the drop shadow. So we can go to a different setting, add some outline width, and make it the same color as the background so that it cuts into the top word, and it also kind of cuts into the back of this image here. Let's just go to like something like maybe 7. No, that's too much. Let's go to 6. Yeah, that's cool. And then no matter what word you do, humility spread, let's do is cool. Yeah, sure, it will work. Let's try taking off the transformation and just making this bigger. Yeah, make it exact size of the image there. I think that was better. Let's see. Yeah. And then maybe we can do something similar by copying our monoline text over here. I'm actually going to do something weird, put it in the center, and I'm going to turn it to that gray, and we're going to make it a lot smaller, and we're going to do like this. I should just get I should get paid to make silly little filler text boxes. All right, and then maybe we can do something like go back to abstract, go back to Y2K, and maybe we can do something like this, and we're gonna make it that same goodness. There we go. Make it that same gray. Maybe we do it like this. And maybe we do a little something different. Just keep looking, keep looking. I don't know exactly what this represents, but it looks cool. Make this go over here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Bring this down. Bring this up. Make it a little bigger. I don't know. It's just about overlapping stuff. It's kind of cool. I could give those stroke as well, and they could be cut out of the image. That could be nice. I won't do it for this one, though. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is a big, like, Y2K looking thing. We'll just put this here. And we will make the outline dark, and we will take this all the way down. Yes. Yes. That's what we want right there. That is nice. And then we just need something to put on the other side as well. We could do another globe. I don't like that idea. We could do hearts. I also don't like that idea. We could do, let's see, what else could we do? This guy's kind of nice. Yeah, let's do this guy. Turn it there, blow. Turn this guy all the way down. Ooh, let's go. Let's just, man, look at that. Here, here, here. Make sure we center it. Boom, like that. And I like this, okay? I like this. Grab it. Bring it down just a tad. That's cool. I mean, that's nice. Now, I did notice that over in this one, let me see if I can tell if the entire, okay, so yeah, I think the texture's on all of it. I did notice that there's some texture here that I'm not sure if I could see here, but I do think that it is, from looking at the face, I do think the texture is over the entire thing. So, with that being said, let's go back. I don't know why humility is good has to do with this picture at all. I have zero idea. Let's go. So we can try some grunge. We can try some paper. I think it might be cool to do something with halftones, maybe. No. Let's go back. Let's go photocopy. Photocopy is one of my favorites, I think, because it gives it that printed look without having to print out a piece of paper. Color burn could work, but I think it's too intense. Let's go back and let's do, ooh, maybe we can try some fabric. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's play with our color settings for a second. Overlay, soft light is cool. Let's see. I just like going through all of them just in case I find something cool. All right, so multiply we could turn down. Screen, not really gonna work. I like overlay because you can see it in the text. Soft light, I think is gonna work the best. So let's drop it down to like 80, and it kind of looks woven. Let's drop it down to 60. Yeah, and you start to get a little bit more of the color, but you can still kind of see it in the type a little bit. And then what I might even do is I might just go to the images tab, and I might just type in like black paper. Yeah, and I might just like grab this guy. Okay, but I might set that to screen. Okay, and then maybe turn it just to give it a little something. Little something else. Hold the shift key so I can skew it. Now I can go through my own blending modes for this one little piece of paper. Let's see. Ooh. Yes, that's cool. See, you never know unless you just see you get the little fibers coming through in this. You never know unless you kind of check it out. Now, I could always grab the background color, which is this like, I could just change it so it is more or less vibrant. I could make it that off gray that other one is, or I could just set it back to that same color. But I think that's cool. These are the 3 pieces here for Neoclassical Art that we have created in Kittl by looking at the different inspiration pieces and the different neoclassical paintings. I would encourage you to give this style a try, especially if you haven't before. I think it's a really forgiving one, and the reason being is that the art, the painting, the artistry just speaks for itself already, right? So there's not like a lot that you have to do outside of just really thinking through your text placement so that you figure out where you want it to go. There's not so much you have to do to really prove that the piece should be nice because someone already extremely talented has painted this work. Now again, back to the copyright. Can I use this? Can I not use this? Please check out those websites where you can find all of the art by any of the artists mentioned in this video or otherwise, and their artwork, whether it's in the public domain. You can find out more about it. You can also Google it to check it out. Again, personally, it's going to be no problem If you're doing it for a nonprofit, it's no problem. Typically, if you're doing it for something like an album cover or a poster design, generally also no problem. Just make sure you always do your research so that you figure out how you're supposed to use those paintings, those artworks in your own design work. So you also let me know what you think of this design trend down in the comments. It's a super fun one to design. I have seen it all over the place, and I would love to know what you think about it and how you're going to use it. So thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.